cannot make this stuff up, man. I legitimately had this bike sold. The guy pulls up, tests the bike out in the dark, and he didn't ride it very long, so I was like, let me show you what it's capable of. I drive it up and down the road and everything. He pays me, you know, $2,100 cash. Good day, good day. He goes to put down his ramps. You know, the bike's off because we were chit-chatting a little bit. And goes to start the bike up. Nothing. Literally just won't even start. It was turning over fine, but it didn't have any pop, nothing. It had compression and it, you know, but I've had this thing running for like 2 weeks, and I'm just finishing up the finishing touches. The wheel bearings on there took a bit to get, and get the tires done on the back here. Those are brand new. But legitimately had this thing sold and it wouldn't start. We pushed it into the garage real quick to check it out, and quickly noticed that when I took the spark plug out, it was just throwing gas everywhere. And I'm like, that's weird, because the carburetor has almost all new components. I mean, it is an Amazon carb, but I've never seen it where it just floods it instantly. Put a clean spark plug in, popped once, nothing after that. Put another one in, popped once, nothing after that. So we messed with it probably for like a half an hour before he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. So I give the guy his money back and he leaves. So sad day, but it's all good. We'll get it sold eventually. This one took a little bit. In the last video, I think the tires were popped on the back of this one, and we got some new, let's see, what are these, Wandas? Yeah, I like the look of these Wandas on here. I paid almost 50 bucks to get these put on these rims. They are the OEM Japan DID Japan rims. And let's see. Yeah, I had to do the wheel bearings. It was terrible. A lot of these are pretty beat up, and ended up having to do that. The radiator, he told me when I bought it that that it had a hole. So it came with this aftermarket radiator. I just threw on the OEM fan and overflow and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's about it on this one. I put the plastics back together, shined it up, made it look halfway decent. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this one. It took me, I don't know how many hours I have in it, but enough, I'd say. So it's been a bit of a journey. I have quite a few projects in the garage that I'm working on. I'm gonna try and put out a few videos this week on it and see what you guys think. But yeah, this thing was sold, and big truck goes by, and now it's not. So still up for market, and we'll see what I get. Okay, so here's the carburetor that was on it, and let me show you what happened. So somewhere after, when I was riding it and I turned it off, like immediately, this is basically what happened. The pin here has a little spring and it bounces, if you can kind of see it, and it had popped, if I can do it. Oh, too far. It had popped loose. I can't do this with one hand. So it had like popped loose. It was just dangling in there like this. It basically fell out when I took this out. And I mean, I don't know if it's my fault. I'm still trying to figure it out. But if you know how these needle valves work, so these Chinese ones often don't throw enough fuel, at least in my experience, even on the lowest clip here, on the C clip. So ideally, you need like one notch lower, at least for this KFX400. And so what I did was I put a couple shims in there, threw it back in, and I think it gave it a little less pressure when I put it back in there. It's either that or it's just the cheap Amazon carb and it popped out. But I don't know. That's what ended up costing me the sale, believe it or not. So yeah, that's what ended up costing me the sale. Not that big of a deal, obviously. It'll still get sold, but I just thought that was kind of funny and interesting. I'd never seen anything like that. So but it's pretty out here today. Nice fall day in Ohio. And yeah, I think I've only had goofy things like that happen maybe once. I think one time I was selling a Yamaha golf cart, and the guy came out. It was pretty much a done deal, going to be sold, and then he crawled under it, and he realized that
I didn't realize this, but he realized that the frame was rotted pretty bad, and I feel like I should have caught it. I felt pretty bad on that one, and funny enough, somebody came like a few days later and bought it anyways. But I feel bad every time somebody comes out, drives like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and they, you know, something that I didn't mention or I didn't say ruins the sale. I feel like it's always sucky when you drive out to go to a deal, you're all excited, and then, you know, ends up not being what you want. You got to drive back. Sometimes I get in my truck, I drive 2 hours with a trailer and spend $30, $40 worth of gas just to find out that somebody lied. I've had several LTZ 400s where I drove out. I asked specifically, you know, am I the only person coming? Is this photo recent? Is there a hole in the case anywhere? And I, at least 3 times in the past couple months, I've driven at least an hour to 2 hours to look at these. And multiple times, I think 2 times, there was a hole in the case. Obviously a hole in the case, like not even just a small crack, like very obvious oil dripping out of it, hole in the case. And the other one, the guy, he said the plastics had no defects, no cracks, nothing. And I get there's literally zip ties holding it together. He's got the radiator fan wire to where it turns on instantly. It's just happens all the time. So just watch yourself when you're trying to get these. Even if you ask the right questions, these guys will lie to you. That's kind of the nature of marketplace. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well. I'll catch you in the next one. See you.